If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, so Thanksgiving weekend is here, and you know what that means, right? Football.
Of course.
But I bet you didn't know that watching football on Turkey Day is more than just like, hey, everyone's off work, so let's just put a game on.
Oh, it goes much deeper than that.
Right. We've been digging into all these articles and research about the history and the cultural side of Thanksgiving football.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and we're going to do a deep dive into why this tradition is such a big deal in American culture.
You ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So how far back does this tradition actually go?
It goes back further than you think.
Oh, I know it's old, but like how old are we talking?
Think pre-NFL. Think 1876.
Whoa, really?
Yale versus Princeton battling it out on Thanksgiving Day. That's how far back this whole thing goes.
Wow, that's pretty wild. So how did we get from like Ivy League games to the NFL Thanksgiving feasts we know today?
Well, the NFL officially made Thanksgiving games a thing in 1920, but it was the Detroit Lions who really took it to the next level. Yeah, they were struggling during the Depression trying to get people to come to their games.
Makes sense.
So they had this brilliant idea.
What, to play on Thanksgiving?
Exactly. They were like, hey, everyone's already together for Thanksgiving, so why not give them a game to watch too?
Seems pretty simple, honestly.
It was brilliant, though. Remember, this was 1934, back when radio was the main source of entertainment.
Oh, right.
And get this, they gave away free radios to businesses in Detroit.
Really?
But there was a catch.
What was it?
The businesses had to promise to tune into the Thanksgiving game. Genius marketing, right?
That's so smart, tapping into the whole radio craze.
It was a huge success.
I bet everyone in Detroit listening to the game.
And the stadium was packed. That game really put the Lions on the map as the Thanksgiving team.
Yeah, it totally did.
From then on, the Lions' Thanksgiving Day tradition was born.
So it wasn't just about making money. It was about making a big event, something everyone could be a part of.
You got it.
All right, but it's not Thanksgiving without a doubleheader.
You're telling me. And that's where the Dallas Cowboys come in.
America's team.
In 1966, the Cowboys were already getting super popular, and they joined the Thanksgiving lineup. That really solidified the whole doubleheader idea. Thanksgiving became a national football holiday.
Even for people who weren't big Lions fans.
Exactly.
I can just picture families everywhere gathered around their TVs, watching the Cowboys and Lions, arguing about the game.
I mean, it's a classic Thanksgiving scene.
Totally. But we can't forget about college football. Thanksgiving weekend isn't just about the pros.
You're right. While the NFL takes center stage on Thanksgiving Day itself, the whole weekend is packed with some intense college rivalries, and a lot of them have big playoff implications.
Yeah, we're talking games like the Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
Auburn versus Alabama, one of the biggest rivalries in sports.
Bullrich.
And then there's the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State against Ole Miss. Those games are about way more than just bragging rights.
They're fighting for conference championships, bowl game spots, basically everything they've been working towards all season.
Wow, so Thanksgiving weekend for college fans is about more than just turkey and stuffing.
Way more.
It's about those nail-biting games and seeing if their team can make history. You know, thinking about all these games, it really makes you realize how many iconic moments have happened on Thanksgiving.
So many unforgettable plays and performances, moments that have become a part of football history.
Moments that people still argue about at the Thanksgiving table years later, right?
Absolutely. And it's those shared memories, those stories, that make Thanksgiving football even more special.
It's like each moment adds another layer to the tradition.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to get into next.
Awesome. Get ready for a trip down memory lane, folks.
We're going to revisit some of the most incredible, hilarious, and sometimes heartbreaking moments in Thanksgiving football history.
So buckle up. Okay, so you ready to relive some of those classic Thanksgiving moments?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start with one that's, well, kind of infamous.
Oh, yeah.
Leon lets blunder in the snow back in '93.
Oh, man.
I mean, you got to admit, even if you're a Cowboys fan, that moment is pure Thanksgiving football comedy.
It really is. You just never know what's going to happen, right?
Right, especially on a day when everyone's emotions are running high.
Exactly. So lets a defensive lineman for the Cowboys, recovers a fumble, and looks like he's got a clear path to the end zone.
He's celebrating already, thinking he's scored.
Oh, way too early.
And then, out of nowhere, a Dolphins player comes in and knocks a ball right out of his hands just before he crosses the goal line.
Unbelievable.
Turns a sure touchdown into a fumble.
And the Cowboys lose the game.
It's a tough lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
In football, you can't celebrate until you're actually in the end zone.
Nothing's certain until that whistle blows.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy? Coaches still use that play in clinics today.
Really?
As a cautionary tale. Like, hey, focus guys, finish the play.
I love it. Okay, let's move on to something a little more uplifting.
All right, what you got?
How about O.J. Simpson's incredible 273 rushing yards back in '76?
Oh, the juice! Setting a Thanksgiving rushing record that still stands today.
That's amazing. And it wasn't just the yards, it was how he did it. So much power and grace.
Effortless.
And, you know, it's interesting because that game happened during a pretty rough time in Simpson's life.
Yeah, he was dealing with some serious stuff.
Injuries,
No.
legal issues. But on that Thanksgiving day, he just, I don't know, he seemed to rise above it all.
He was incredible.
A pure athlete.
Yeah.
Okay, another performance we can't forget.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Randy Moss's rookie debut on Thanksgiving, 1998.
Oh, yeah. What a coming out party.
3 touchdowns against the Cowboys.
And it wasn't just the number, it was how he caught them. Like, soaring over defenders, making it look way too
He
easy.
changed the whole game for rookie wide receivers.
Completely.
Showed that young players could come in and make a huge impact right away.
And that's exactly what Moss did. Instant star. A generational talent.
For sure. You know, all these moments we're talking about, they're not just highlights.
Yeah. No, they're woven into Thanksgiving itself.
We rewatch them, argue about them, tell stories about where we were when they happened.
They become part of the whole Thanksgiving football mythology, passed down through generations.
Exactly. So we've got the history, the iconic moments, the rivalries. But for a lot of us, Thanksgiving football is also about the experience off the field.
Oh, yeah. The food, the family, all the traditions that go with it.
Right. It's different from any other sporting event.
It really is. The excitement of the game, the smells coming from the kitchen, the whole family together.
It's a sensory overload in the best way possible. I know for me, I got to have my game day spread. And I'm talking more than just chips and dip.
Oh, I hear ya. Got to step it up for Thanksgiving.
Turkey legs, stuff in balls, maybe even a pumpkin pie dip. You know, got to get festive.
Sounds amazing.
What about you? Any special Thanksgiving football food traditions?
Oh, for sure. In my family, we make what we call touchdown chili.
Touchdown chili?
Yeah, each ingredient represents a different part of the game. It's a fun way to get everyone in the kitchen, you know, connect the food to the football.
I love that. It's amazing how food and football just go together on Thanksgiving.
A uniquely American thing, right?
For sure. But it's more than just the food and fun, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's something deeper about Thanksgiving football, something that makes it so special. What do you think it is?
I think it's about connection.
Connection.
Yeah, that need. We all have to share experiences to feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Thanksgiving football does that.
It brings families and friends together, no matter what else is going on.
In a world that feels increasingly divided, it's a reminder of the things we have in common.
It's like a national tradition unfolding right there on our TV screens.
Exactly. But it's not just about feel-good moments either. We got to talk about the economic impact.
Oh, right.
Thanksgiving football brings in billions of dollars for teams, businesses, local economies.
Wow, that's huge.
Advertising, merchandise, travel, all of it.
So it's not just a tradition, it's a major economic force.
Big time.
So looking ahead, how do you think this tradition is going to evolve?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Technology's changing, viewing habits are changing, even the game itself is changing.
Right. Are we going to be watching games in the metaverse someday, eating virtual turkey legs? We're already seeing more and more people stream games online. So will Thanksgiving football stay on TV, or will it move to these new digital platforms?
And what about the NFL itself?
Exactly. They're always tweaking the rules, expanding the playoffs. What's that going to do to Thanksgiving games?
Will new teams join the Thanksgiving lineup?
So many possibilities. And then you've got fantasy football, which has completely changed how people watch the game.
Yeah, that's true. So many factors at play.
Yeah.
Based on what we've learned, do you think Thanksgiving football is going to change drastically, or will the core of it stay the same?
You know, I think even though the way we watch and interact with Thanksgiving football might change, Those fundamental elements, that feeling of togetherness, the connection to family and tradition, those things will always be there.
Yeah, you're right.
No matter how much technology advances or how the game evolves, the heart of Thanksgiving football is always going to be about those human connections.
I think you're absolutely right. It's a tradition that's too powerful to fade away.
Exactly. And speaking of traditions, what are some of your favorite Thanksgiving football memories? Have you witnessed any of these iconic moments firsthand?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm sure our listeners have some amazing stories to share. It's really amazing when you think about it.
What's that?
How a game of football has become such a big part of American culture.
It is pretty remarkable, isn't it?
I mean, people plan their whole Thanksgiving around the games.
Right.
And it's more than just the game itself.
Mm.
It's the traditions, the food, the family gatherings.
The whole experience.
Exactly. And those things, they change over time, you know.
Yeah, traditions evolve.
But there's always that core essence that stays the same.
That connects us to the past, to each other.
Thanksgiving football is a perfect example of that.
It really is.
Brings people together, creates memories.
Generations of families sharing those memories.
Whether you're a diehard fan or just watch casually on Thanksgiving,
There's something about it.
it just feels special.
It does.
It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest things.
Are the most meaningful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you're watching the games this weekend,
With your family and friends.
take a minute to appreciate the history.
All the stories behind it.
And remember, it's more than just a game.
It's about coming together.
Celebrating tradition.
And the power of sports.
It's fascinating to think about how Thanksgiving football will keep evolving.
What do you think?
Will we see new traditions?
Will the ones we know and love stick around?
How will things change?
It's definitely something to think about.
Maybe over a plate of turkey and some football?
Well, we've had a great time exploring this topic with you.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the history and cultural impact of Thanksgiving football.
And as always, we'd love to hear from you.
What are your favorite Thanksgiving football traditions?
Any unforgettable moments you've witnessed.
Share your stories and let's keep this conversation going.
Because ultimately, Thanksgiving football is about more than just wins and losses.
It's about the memories we make
The connections we forge.
and the shared love of a game that brings us all together.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and may your team have a great game.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.